What's going on, guys? We are coming at you with an often requested but kind of difficult to make keto recipe. Today we're going to be making keto pasta. So if you've done keto for any length of time, you've probably searched for like what are the options for keto pastas, noodles, stuff like that. There's not much. There's miracle noodles, shirataki noodles. Those, a lot of people hate them. I've grown to like them. No one loves them, but I've grown to like them. They're just very different from what real pasta is. This recipe we're gonna make for you today is more in that realm. It's kind of like egg noodles almost, kind of like that consistency. Pretty tasty, definitely better than any of the store-bought alternatives. And it only requires 3 ingredients. You're probably gonna have mozzarella cheese and eggs to begin with. This is something you might need to look for. It is gelatin. This is beef gelatin. That's what we usually use to cook with. You can also just get those packets that are in the baking section. It's called gelatine. That is pork gelatin, pretty much the same thing. To get going here, we're gonna use 1 tablespoon of water in this coffee mug to dissolve the gelatin, 6 grams of gelatin. So we got a tablespoon of water in the cup there, and then 6 grams, I'm just gonna eyeball. One of these scoops is 10 grams, so a little over half. Get that in there. So what we do with gelatin is we let it kind of thicken up in this water here, and then we're going to heat it in the microwave, and that will allow it to dissolve. And while that's going, we're going to be working on the other mixture here, which is an egg yolk and a cup of mozzarella cheese. So about half of this bag is a cup. And if you get like the thinly shredded mozzarella cheese, that makes it a little bit easier to melt and mix together. And then we are gonna microwave the cheese to melt it. And you can do this over a double boiler if you want. We wanna be ready with the yolk as soon as the cheese comes out. So I'm gonna get the yolk in this glass bowl here. Okay, so there's a few moving parts here. I'm going to start with the gelatin. So I'm gonna now microwave this in bursts of like 10 to 20 seconds until it's back into like a liquidy state. Because you can see right now it's pretty solid. It's like a thickened, there's actually no water that you can identify in there right now. Okay, you can see we're back pretty much to a liquid now. So this can mix in with the final mixture and just help thicken it. That's kind of what gelatin does, if I didn't mention that. Then we are going to microwave the cheese. Microwave is getting a lot of action in this recipe. You don't want to overheat the cheese, so you can see it's kind of melting on the outsides there. I'll mix it around a little and then put it back in for probably another 10 or 15 seconds. Just keep pulling it out until it's fully mixed. So this is probably about good. You don't want it too hot or it'll cook the egg yolk. You just want to add the egg yolk in and mix it quickly. A fork is the best tool for this, I find, just because you can break up the cheese and get in there good. Okay, then next we got our gelatin on standby here. We're going to add that in. So just drizzle that right on, get that incorporated. If you're running into problems with the mixture, you can pop it into the microwave. Briefly though, just like 5 seconds. We're gonna just get out a piece of parchment paper here, have another one on standby, kind of similar to a fathead dough. And the gelatin isn't really working yet. That takes some time, it has to set. Now we are gonna put another piece of parchment paper on top, and you can feel it's still pretty warm, which is good. Get out a rolling pin and just roll it, the thinner the better. No one ever said make my pasta extra thick. Maybe they did, someone said that. Okay, that is pretty thin. Yeah, that's looking pretty thin. So now to get the gelatin to activate, we're gonna place this in the fridge for 10 minutes and then we'll be able to cut it into pasta. You can put this on a baking sheet or just throw it in the fridge like this. We'll be back in 10 minutes to form the pasta. And we are back. The noodles are out of the fridge, said no one ever. We actually had to remake them because the first one was too thin. So I was wrong, I was trash talking thick noodles before. You actually want these to be a little thick so they stay together better. If they're too thin, they just kind of fall apart. Another important step is you want to spray the parchment paper. I was thinking this is more like a fathead pizza and it would work out good. I forgot that this is a little stickier because of the gelatin. You actually have to spray the paper. So that is what we're left with. Definitely gonna work a lot better. And now we're just gonna use a pizza cutter and cut these into thin little fettuccinis. Noodles are cut. So now what I like to do is just take them off, make sure they're gonna separate, so get them kind of like, don't handle them too much though. You want them to stay cold or else it's gonna be tough to integrate with the sauce. Oh yeah, these came out nice. You guys should have seen the first batch. Okay, so there is your noodles. And now here is sort of the sad truth of making keto pasta. You can't like boil this obviously the way you would pasta. You can't really saute it. You got to heat your sauce, which we got some of this. This is roasted garlic marinara sauce made with avocado oil. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna actually pour this into our bowl. This is the best way to go about eating this pasta. Get a good little bit in there, that looks good. You could heat this in a saucepan on the stove too. We're gonna microwave this. You're probably gonna want a top protector plate. We're gonna microwave this to heat it up, then we're gonna toss the noodles in the pasta sauce, warming them with the heat of the pasta sauce. That's what you gotta do for keto pasta. Okay, so the pasta sauce is heated, and I'm just thinking now, you know how they have those shows where it's like people making Pinterest recipes and they always turn out terribly? They should do a whole keto version of those because there's a lot of them. So now we have our pasta. This is kind of long for me, but okay. Now just add the pasta to the sauce. You sort of have to suspend your belief in pasta to have this as a pasta dish, but it is very tasty. Then we're gonna mix it. This is the best way to heat the pasta so that the pasta doesn't stick together or form a cheese blob, which is what happened last time. Got some Parmesan coming in. Gotta top it with Parmesan cheese. What's the point of having pasta if you don't put Parmesan cheese on top? Answer me that. Now, taste test time. Man, that looks like a pretty legitimate pasta dish. Get a proper swirl, Mega says. You know what? I can buy it. It tastes like pasta with a lot of cheese on it. The mozzarella cheese, that's why it's used in so many keto recipes. It is kind of a blank canvas. So it tastes like, I need another bite. The sauce really makes it too. Not like pasta just because like there's no real bite to it. It's soft. As far as the spectrum of keto-friendly pastas goes, this is definitely as good as it gets. Best one I've tried. Yeah, that is a good pasta. I would say zucchini lasagna or eggplant lasagna, which we have on our food blog also, that's probably my top option just because it's a little bit easier and like people don't think it's weird. Like if you make this for your friends when they come over, what are they gonna say, you know? Like this is something you make for yourself, maybe your spouse. But it is really a good pasta dish. It tastes better than those. It's just a little more complex to make. Link down below. I'll link a few other pasta recipes down there too, or just like Italian style stuff. We got pizza, we got pasta. What else is Italian stuff? Italian has a lot of good food. Biscotti. We haven't done cannolis yet, although we did do a cannoli filling that you can make keto friendly. But yeah, guys, that's the recipe. Make it, let us know what you think, and thanks for watching.